Jamie, thanks for sitting down with me today. Great to see you here in Chicago.
Good to see you.
Jamie, we haven't had a chance to sit down yet, and you have recently moved into a new role at Syngenta. Congratulations, head of Syngenta Seed Care for North America. That's a big job. It's a big job.
Really looking forward to it.
Can you tell me a little bit about yourself and how your role has evolved with Syngenta?
Sure. No, thanks for the opportunity to sit down with you, Sean, and appreciate this chance to share a bit around our seed treatment business here in North America. So if I think back to my 24 years with Syngenta, I started out as a sales representative in Northwest Ohio. And through the various roles that I've had in the company, it's always been focused around customer first. Most recently, I had an opportunity to lead our technical services group for North America. So this is basically the agronomy and technical support staff that we have directly focused on our customers. So we're doing a lot around helping them to understand the value that our technologies can provide agronomically to help enhance their return and yield and quality. One of the initiatives that we put forward in my last role was something we call the Grow More Experience. This is a collection of around 60 Grow More Experience sites across North America where farmers have a front row seat into seeing Syngenta technology in action. And this is seeds, traits, crop protection, as well as seed care. And it really gave us an opportunity to not only showcase our existing portfolio of technology, but also all of the exciting new innovations that we're going to be bringing to the marketplace. So finally, I'm located at our corporate headquarters for North America in Greensboro, North Carolina, where I've been 14 years now. And the one thing that's always been consistent for me in my career has been a focus on the customer.
Right. Never lose sight of the customer.
Never lose sight.
Never lose sight of the customer. And so this new, since September, you're just kind of getting your feet wet in it. How's it going so far?
Really good. Of course, with any new role, there's always learning and opportunity. The good news is we have a really experienced staff here in North America in seed treatment. We have a long history in seed treatment, some 35 plus years of working this marketplace. And for me, one of the really exciting opportunities in the early stages of coming onto this role was the actual launch of our Seed Care Institute in Stanton, Minnesota. We had our grand opening back in September. We had a number of customers and guests, not only from North America, but from around the world. And it really gave us an opportunity to highlight this technology and how it can help better serve our customers. Everything you can imagine from R&D, recipe development, to actual small and large scale production equipment that our customers are using every day to treat seeds. So that was a really exciting opportunity in the early stages, and we look forward to how we can leverage that capability to help better serve our customers.
Nice. There's that customer concept again. Excellent.
Yeah.
So you've got a pretty vast experience with Syngenta over the years. I want to drill down a little bit into the seed care side, and you folks launched, Seed Care launched more than a dozen, maybe even closer to 16 products for 2016. That's a lot of R&D. Can you talk a little bit about that side of how R&D works at Syngenta and maybe why it's a little different than some of your competitors?
Yeah. Well, the crop protection portfolio introduced 16 new products in 2016, and it's creating incredible momentum in the marketplace right now. We're excited about that. In fact, if I think back to my career, I really can't remember a time where we've launched so many new products in one single year. In seed treatment specifically, we have 7 new active ingredients that we're going to be introducing to the marketplace. Some of those are, of course, from our crop protection pipeline that we'll customize for seed treatment use. Some of those are unique AIs just to seed treatment. So we're really excited about the prospect of how, we're thinking about customer issues or concerns or challenges that they're facing agronomically, and that's what's fueling the R&D and innovation pipeline from Syngenta. So being able to find a solution to the challenges they face is the focus we have. One example of that is Clariva Complete Beans, which was a recent introduction for us. And we know that farmers have witnessed resistance with nematodes specifically. And so we actually worked in a collaboration initially with Pasterio Biosciences. So we eventually purchased that company to bring forward this comprehensive solution of nematode control, insect control, and disease control. So it's certainly a collaborative effort in that spirit, but it's about the innovation pipeline and how we bring new technologies to our customer.
You, because of your experience with other divisions within Syngenta, can you talk a little bit about how, and you certainly mentioned the customer focus that will be maintained, but how does that experience help as you step into this seed care role?
Yeah, well, I think, certainly there's a collection of experiences that I've been able to gain throughout the course of my career, relationships, the support network that is really directed to helping my team deliver the customer experience. And, you could go back to some of the technical aspects that I've been involved in, some of the marketing roles that I've been involved in. It's my hope that I can bring those to help better support my team as well as support the customer.
It's interesting. I talk to a lot of executives, Jamie, and quite frankly, I don't hear a lot of them talk about team. And I've heard you say that word a number of times already. Can you talk to me a little bit about your team's goals for 2017?
Yeah, it's a good question. The first thing I would tell you is that it's around the customer connection. So for me personally, I've spent a lot of time in the early days in this role just getting out and meeting with customers. And it's important for us to understand what are their goals and objectives. How do we go about putting a plan together where we can actually provide the service and support to achieve those? So that's the first thing. I think the second thing for me is really around maximizing the capabilities of the Seed Care Institute. We're in the really the operationalizing stage now, so we're getting the facility up and running, and 2017 is about maximizing the capacity of work focused on the customer. And then the third thing for me is really around my people. So my role is to help remove barriers that they may have and to support their development in spirit of the customer.
So this is going to sound slightly naive, but it's refreshing to hear that, Jamie. I'm not going to lie. That doesn't always get covered in these conversations, so I appreciate that a lot. So now, of course, I got to ask you a question about pollinator health, because it's just a topic that we're talking about, and I know Syngenta has a lot of initiatives on the table to ensure that is being monitored and maintained and going in the right direction. Can you talk a little bit about those initiatives?
Sure, absolutely, and it's a good one to bring up because we certainly recognize as an industry and as a company how important pollinators are to helping feed a growing global population. Of course, Syngenta has initiatives in place, as you mentioned. We have our Operation Pollinator program, which we've been delivering for more than 15 years. This came from collaboration with universities to help design the habitat that would really help support pollinator health.
Nice.
And we've been collaborating on that for, as I said, more than 15 years. So we recognize the importance. I think the other thing I would say, Sean, is there's been a lot of exaggerated content that's been put in the media around bee health. We recognize that over the last several decades, globally, there's actually been an increase, and so we're trying to do all we can to help educate, to put forward positive initiatives that are going to support pollinator health, and then ensure that from a stewardship perspective, our growers or our seed treaters are using the strictest guidelines around best practice.
And I think it's partially about that best practices and partially about telling the actual story.
Yeah, absolutely.
Making sure that the actual story gets conveyed. Yes, I agree completely. Can you I just want to touch a little bit more on the initiatives that Syngenta has put in place within the Seed Care Institutes that are global, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a network, a fantastic network that I didn't completely understand until probably just in the last couple of years understand how much communication is between those networks. Can you talk a little bit about that as a network?
Yeah, no, it's a great question because we do have a network of 12 Seed Care Institutes around the world. They're all interconnected to where, any crop, any pest, they're able to leverage the information and the know-how, whether that be in AIs, formulations, actual treatment practices. So that is a really big part of what that network is providing. And again, through the eyes of the customer, that's where we're focusing those teams to understand the challenges or issues they're facing, and then direct the work in that direction.
Right. Jamie, over the years, it's amazing how my version of young has changed. So I'm going to put you into that category.
I'm not sure that's the case, but
and I'm going to say, do you have some advice to young folks that are looking to get into the seed industry? You've been in the seed industry for a long time. What would your advice be?
Yeah, so what I'd say first is I've had a passion for agriculture my entire life, since I was a young boy riding on the tractor with my grandfather. So the first thing is around finding your passion, around what you're going to enjoy. I like to say I've never really worked a day in my life because I love it that much. The other thing is get involved. We have so many really outstanding organizations here in the U.S., 4-H, FFA, which not only focus on giving exposure to ag, but also leadership and development of young people. Second thing I would say, being from a small town in Michigan, is set goals and aim high. Don't limit yourself to the true potential that you may be able to achieve in the industry. You think about the need in our industry for really good people to come. We have that need, and we're seeing more and more that the folks coming aren't from the farm, and that's okay. I think the last thing I would say is just really this whole spirit around practice, training. Be an expert in what you are focused on in service of the customer. And this is where I see, often to become a trusted advisor with your customer, you have to have depth and value. And so practice makes perfect, and the opportunity for our young people to come in to agriculture, to me, the opportunities are limitless.
Jimmy, this has been really enjoyable. I appreciate you taking the time to have a chat.
Thank you.
Thanks again.
It's been great.
Thank you.
All right.